Story 1. The man who followed us across 3 states. My name is Jason, and this happened in the summer of 2021. I was 23 at the time, and me, my girlfriend Emily, and our friend Lucas decided to take a long road trip from Colorado to Washington State. We wanted mountains, forests, small towns, the whole peaceful vibe after being stuck at home for months. I had no idea the trip would become the single most terrifying experience of my life. One that still makes me double-check my mirrors every time I drive at night. We left Denver early in the morning, snacks loaded, music blasting, everyone in a good mood. For the first few hours, everything was normal. We were just excited to get away for a week. Around 3 p.m., somewhere between Wyoming and Idaho, we stopped at a small, weird-looking gas station in a nearly empty town. The kind of place where there were no other houses around, just a long stretch of road disappearing into trees. I was filling the tank when I noticed a man standing near the entrance door, staring at us. He was tall, maybe late 50s, messy beard, wearing a faded green jacket despite the heat. His eyes were unsettling. Not angry, not curious, just intense, like he was memorizing our faces. I tried to shrug it off. Inside the store, the guy kept glancing at us. He didn't buy anything, didn't move, just stood in the corner, watching. When we went back outside, he slowly walked around the back of our car, looked at the license plate, and then looked at us again. It creeped me out enough that I whispered to Emily, "Get in the car." Now, we drove off fast. I kept checking the rearview mirror, paranoid for no reason. The man didn't come out of the store. No cars followed us. After a few miles, I calmed down, but that peace didn't last. About an hour later, on a long, empty stretch of road, a beat-up old dark blue pickup truck appeared behind us. It was going faster than us, but instead of passing, it stayed right behind our car, tailgating dangerously close. "Dude, what the hell?" Lucas muttered from the back seat. I slowed down a bit to let him pass. Instead, the truck slowed down too. I speed up to 80 miles per hour. The truck did the same. Emily looked at me. "This can't be the same guy, right?" I didn't know. But something felt wrong. The truck had one headlight dimmer than the other, and the front bumper was dented badly. It looked like it had been in multiple crashes. After about 20 minutes of this, the truck suddenly sped up, got into the left lane, and swerved toward us like he was trying to run us off the road. Emily screamed. I slammed the brakes. The truck missed us by inches, swerved back into the lane, and sped ahead. I pulled over immediately, hands shaking. "Call the cops," Emily said. But by the time we told them the mile marker, the truck was long gone. The road was empty again. We kept driving, quieter now, everyone shaken. It wasn't until that night that things escalated. We reached a small motel in Idaho, the kind off the highway with buzzing neon lights and maybe 10 rooms total. Not the safest looking place, but it was cheap, and we were exhausted. Inside the lobby, the clerk asked from behind a glass panel, "You 3 the ones from Colorado?" I nodded slowly. "That man was asking about you," she said casually while flipping through papers. My heart dropped. "What man?" "Tall guy, beard, green jacket." She shrugged. "He came in asking if I'd seen a gray sedan with Colorado plates." I told him no, but he kept staring at the guest log like he was trying to memorize the names. Emily grabbed my arm. "That's him." I asked the clerk if she called the police. She just said, "Didn't think it was serious." He left. We went to our room, triple locked the door, and tried to sleep. But around 1 a.m., the handle turned slowly, then shook slightly. Not aggressively, just like someone testing it. Then soft footsteps walked away. We didn't sleep the rest of the night. By morning, the truck was parked across the road. Same dented bumper, same mismatched headlights. Lucas was the one who noticed it first. Guys, he's outside." The driver's side window was rolled down until Maine's arm rested on the edge of the window. He was staring directly at our room. Emily's breath hitched. "That's him. That's the guy from the gas station." I told her to get in the car quickly. We hurried, grabbed our bags, and rushed out. I kept my keys between my fingers like a weapon. But when we walked out, the truck slowly pulled out and began following us again. We drove fast, switching roads, turning randomly, trying to lose him. Every time I thought we lost him, 5 minutes later he would appear in the mirror again. It was like he knew where we were going before we even turned. Lucas whispered, voice shaking, "Bro, what if he put a tracker on the car?" I remembered the way he walked around the back of the car at the gas station. He had plenty of time. I pulled into a rest area, heart racing, and we all jumped out, searching the car. Nothing obvious. No beeping device. No magnets. But under the rear wheel well, stuck to the metal frame, was a small black GPS unit with blinking lights. Emily screamed, "Oh my God! He's been tracking us this whole time." We ripped it off and threw it into a ditch. But the relief didn't last, because when I turned around, the old man was standing across the parking lot, just standing there, staring at us, like he knew we would stop here, like he wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. I yelled at him, "Why are you following us?" He didn't answer. He took one slow step forward, then another. Then he started walking faster, eyes locked on us. Emily grabbed my arm. "Jason, get in the car." We jumped inside and sped out, leaving the man standing in the middle of the rest area, watching us drive away. We finally reached Washington State around 7 p.m. The plan was to meet Emily's cousin at her house and stay there for the vacation. We didn't tell her the full story until we arrived. She insisted we call the police again. This time, they came immediately. They took the report seriously, especially after hearing about the GPS device. After 2 hours of questions, they finally let us rest. For the first time in days, I felt safe. But safety didn't last long. At 4 a.m., someone knocked on Emily's cousin's door. Not loudly, just 3 gentle taps. Tap, tap, tap. Her cousin, half asleep, went to check through the peephole and immediately backed away, whispering, "He's here." I grabbed a kitchen knife and peeked too. The man stood there, staring through the peephole, face expressionless, like he wasn't surprised at all that we were here, like he expected us. Before we could react, police sirens echoed from down the street. Emily's cousin had pressed her panic alarm app. Cops arrived in seconds. The man looked toward the street, then calmly walked away down the driveway and disappeared between the houses. Police searched everywhere. They never found him. For the rest of our trip, we stayed indoors. No more roads, no more exploring. When we finally drove back home to Colorado, we constantly looked behind us. Every truck made us jump. Every car that stayed behind us too long made Emily panic. It's been years, but sometimes I still wake up at night thinking about the way he followed us through 3 states, with no explanation, no motive, never saying one word. The police never identified him, and the GPS device looked like something he had used before, maybe on other cars, other travelers, other road trips. Sometimes I wonder how many people he's followed like that, and how many didn't get away. Story 2, the girl standing in the middle of the road. My name is Claire, and this happened in 2018 during a road trip with my older brother Nathan. We were driving from Austin, Texas to Flagstaff, Arizona. Normally, it's a pretty easy trip, mostly desert highways, long stretches of nothing, quiet and peaceful. But somewhere near New Mexico around 2 a.m., we encountered someone that still gives me nightmares. We were driving down a long, pitch-black highway, the kind where you can go 20 minutes without seeing a single other car. The only light came from our headlights slicing through the darkness. Nathan had been dozing off in the passenger seat while I drove. I remember humming softly to keep myself awake, my eyes getting heavy. Then suddenly, Nathan snapped awake and shouted, "Claire, brake!" I slammed my foot on the pedal so hard the car jolted violently, because standing directly in the middle of the road was a girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, long dark hair, wearing a thin white dress, barefoot, just standing there, staring at us with her head slightly tilted. We stopped inches from hitting her. My heart was racing. Nathan was swearing under his breath, trying to process what we were seeing. The girl didn't move, didn't cry, didn't look scared, just stared straight at us. Nathan rolled his window down slightly and called out, "Hey, are you okay? Where are your parents?" No answer. "Claire, put it in park," he said quietly. "We can't just leave her here." As terrified as I was, he was right. A child in the middle of the desert at 2 a.m. I grabbed my phone and turned on the hazard lights. We both stepped out slowly. The desert air was freezing cold. My breath fogged in front of me as I walked toward the girl. Her skin was pale, extremely pale, like someone who hadn't seen the sun in years. "Sweetie, are you lost?" I asked softly. She didn't respond. She just lifted one arm and pointed. Nathan whispered, "She wants us to follow her." The girl turned around and started walking into the desert, not running, not stumbling, just calmly walking like she knew exactly where she was going. "Nope," I whispered. "No way, we're not going out there." Nathan nodded. "Call 911 first." I dialed. "No service." Nathan checked his too. "No service." The girl kept walking farther into the darkness. That's when we heard it, something rustling behind us, a soft crunch of gravel. We turned around simultaneously. There was a man standing near our car. I gasped so loudly it echoed in my ears. He was tall, maybe mid-40s, wearing filthy clothes. His hair was tangled, like he hadn't washed it in years. His hands hung limp at his sides. "What the hell?" Nathan muttered. The man stared at us with wide, unblinking eyes. But the worst part, he was standing directly behind our car, blocking the road. I grabbed Nathan's arm. "We need to get back in the car. Right now." The man took a step closer, then another. Nathan put his arms out protectively. "Sir, we don't want any trouble." But the man didn't respond. He just kept walking toward us. Then, behind us, from the desert, we heard soft footsteps. The girl. She was walking back toward us now, but not alone. More figures were behind her. At first I saw 2, then 4, then maybe 6 or 7, all walking silently, all children, some older, some younger, all wearing simple white clothes, all barefoot, all with the same pale skin and blank expressions. Nathan's voice trembling. "Claire, get in the car." We sprinted. I nearly dropped the keys trying to unlock the door. The man began walking faster now, his movements jerky and unnatural. The children approached from the other side. Nathan shoved me into the driver's seat and slammed his door. "Gio? Gio?" I floored the gas pedal. The car shot forward, narrowly missing the man as he lunged at us. His hand slapped the trunk hard enough that we felt the impact through the whole car. I didn't look back. I refused to look in the mirror. But Nathan did. "Oh my God." "Claire, they're running?" My heart dropped. I hit 60 miles per hour in seconds, then 70. The figures kept coming onto the road, not chasing the car directly, but stepping out one by one, lining the highway as we sped past. Some smiled as we passed them. Some tilted their heads. Some just stared emotionlessly. The girl we saw first was the last one we passed. And as we drove past her, she lifted her hand and waved. Not a friendly wave. A slow, eerie wave like she was saying goodbye. We drove until we finally reached a small gas station lit by flickering yellow lights. The moment we got service, we called the police. When they arrived, we explained everything. They took us seriously at first, until they drove back with us to the spot we described. It was empty. No children. No man. No footprints. No signs that anyone had been there. Just the dark, silent desert. One officer said softly, "Folks, this stretch of road has a history. People see things. You're not the first." He wouldn't tell us more, just advised us to keep driving and don't stop for strangers on this highway. We didn't sleep that night either. We kept driving until the sun came up. But that's not the end of the story. 2 days later, when we got home, Nathan called me into his room. He looked pale. I found something on the car. My stomach twisted. "What?" He held out his phone and showed me a picture. A small child-sized handprint on the back window. Perfectly clear. Perfectly centered. And here's the terrifying part. It was on the inside of the glass. I ran to the car, shaking, and we both checked the back seat. Nothing. No footprints. No dirt. No signs anyone had been inside. Just that handprint. When we wiped it clean, a faint outline stayed behind, like it was stained into the glass. We sold the car 2 weeks later. To this day, neither of us drives long stretches of road at night anymore. Nathan takes flights everywhere he goes. And sometimes, when I'm alone, I swear I still see that little girl's pale face in my mind, standing in the middle of the road, waiting for us to stop. Story 3. The man who followed us for 200 miles. It's this story happened to me and my best friend Tyler during a cross-country road trip in late 2019. We were both 22 at the time, broke college kids taking one last adventure before graduation. The plan was simple: drive from Chicago to Los Angeles, stopping at a few landmarks along the way. The first 2 days were normal. Long hours, gas station snacks, loud music, stupid jokes. But on the third night, everything changed. We were somewhere in western Nebraska, a place where the highways stretch endlessly, and the night sky feels too big, almost unnatural. We were about 50 miles from the next small town, and traffic was non-existent. It was around 1:30 a.m. when we first noticed the car. A dark SUV. No headlights. Just silently appearing behind us, maybe 50 feet back. At first, we both thought it was a cop running without lights, but it didn't make sense. No sirens. No markings. No attempt to pull us over. It just followed. For miles. Tyler frowned and leaned forward, staring at the rearview mirror. Dude, why is he driving with no headlights? I don't know, I said. Maybe his lights malfunctioned. Yeah, right. We drove on for another 10 minutes. The SUV stayed exactly the same distance behind us, never gaining, never falling back. I tried tapping the brakes lightly. The SUV slowed down too, perfectly matched my speed. My skin crawled. Okay, that's weird, Tyler muttered. Weird wasn't the word I'd use. Wrong was more accurate. We kept driving. The road was dead silent, and the sky above was moonless. Every time I looked in the mirror, that dark SUV, still with no lights, was trailing us like a shadow. Finally, I said, let's try something. I sped up. 65, 70, 75. The SUV sped up too. Tyler's voice cracked a little. Man, what the hell is going on? We passed 90 miles per hour, and the SUV still kept perfect pace. Not close enough to tap us, not far enough to lose. Just following. Then, suddenly, its headlights flashed on. Bright, blinding, high beams. I gasped and jerked the wheel slightly. The SUV flooded our car with intense white light, filling the inside of the vehicle. I couldn't see the road. I couldn't see anything. Stop. Stop. Tyler shouted. I slowed down and tried to regain control. The SUV immediately shut off its headlights and went totally dark again. Tyler stared at me, terrified. Bro, he's messing with us. No, I whispered. He's playing with us. We reached the next exit and pulled off the highway, hoping the SUV would continue straight. It didn't. It followed us off the ramp. I could feel the hair on my arms stand up. Tyler was shaking. We drove toward a 24-hour gas station up ahead. One of those small, lonely ones surrounded by dirt and nothingness. It was the only building in sight for miles. As we turned into the station, the SUV didn't follow us. Instead, it pulled over on the side of the road, engine running, completely dark, watching. Let's go inside, Tyler said immediately. I agreed. We walked into the gas station convenience store. The clerk behind the counter, an older guy, looked up as we walked in. You boys look like you've seen a ghost, he said. There's a guy following us, Tyler explained shakily. Black SUV, no lights. He's been trailing us for like an hour. The clerk's face changed. Every bit of color drained from it. What highway? Route 26, I answered. He swallowed hard. Stay inside. Don't go back out there yet. That scared me even more. He walked to the window, peeked out, and cursed under his breath. That SUV? He asked. Yes. He locked the door. Then he turned the open sign to closed. Sir? I asked. What's going on? He took a deep breath. You're not the first. That phrase froze my spine. He continued quietly. A couple times a year, someone reports that same SUV, same behavior, following people, headlights off, matching speed, sometimes chasing, sometimes just watching. Who is he? Tyler whispered. The clerk shook his head. No one knows, but every person who's seen that vehicle describes the same thing, and none of the reports have ever been solved. I felt sick. So what do we do? Wait, the clerk said. He never comes onto the property, but he will wait. Sometimes 10 minutes. Sometimes hours. Hours. Tyler groaned and leaned against a shelf. We sat there for maybe 30 minutes. The clerk kept checking the window nervously. He's still there, he whispered. I looked out. The SUV hadn't moved. It sat like a predator waiting for prey to step back into the open. I felt trapped. Like running would only make it worse. What if we call the police? Tyler asked. We can, the clerk said, But by the time they get here, he didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. I finally said, "We need a plan." Tyler nodded slowly. "We can't just stay here forever." The clerk suddenly walked to the back room, rummaged around, and returned with a pair of old walkie-talkies. "Take these." Tyler frowned. "Why? You'll see." Then he lifted his shirt slightly and revealed a holstered revolver. "I'm walking you boys to your car." My heart pounded. "Wait, what, sir? He's dangerous." "So am I," he said calmly. We hesitantly followed him outside. The air felt different, heavy, wrong. The SUV hadn't moved an inch. Still dark, still watching. We reached our car and the clerk whispered, "I'll stand here. You two get in. When I say go, go." Tyler got in the passenger side. I sat in the driver's seat, my hands trembling. The clerk stood beside my window, eyes locked on the SUV. Then, suddenly, he muttered, "He's moving." The SUV's engine revved softly. "Joe?" the clerk shouted. I slammed the gas. The tires screeched. We sped out of the parking lot and back onto the highway. The SUV pulled out too. Fast. He was coming. "Dude, he's gonna ram us." Tyler screamed. "No, he's trying to get closer," I said. I pressed harder. 90 miles per hour, 100, 110. The SUV matched every move. Our walkie-talkie crackled. It was the clerk. "You listening?" "Yes," Tyler yelled. "When you reach mile marker 164, there's a sharp split in the road. Left goes to a bridge. Don't take it." "Why?" Tyler screamed. "Because the bridge collapsed 5 years ago." My blood ran cold. "He wants to push you off it," the clerk continued. "That's what happened to the last pair of boys who saw him." I couldn't breathe. The SUV blinked its headlights. "ON, OF, on, OF." Like some sick signal, he was getting closer. Marker 162. Tyler read. "We're almost there." I held the wheel so tight my knuckles went numb. "Listen carefully," the clerk said over the walkie. "Stay straight. Do not turn left. He's going to try to force you." The SUV swerved forward violently, bumping our bumper. The whole car jolted. "He's trying to hit us," I shouted. "Keep driving," the clerk commanded. Mile marker 163 passed. One more. The SUV rammed us again. Harder. Tyler screamed. I gritted my teeth and kept control. Then I saw it. Mile marker 164. The road split ahead, left toward the old bridge, right toward the main highway. As we approached, the SUV lunged forward, slamming into us with terrifying force. He was pushing us left, for the collapsed bridge. "No," I screamed. I yanked the wheel to the right. The SUV skidded beside us, trying to clip the back of our car. At the last possible second, I floored the brakes. Our car jolted violently. The SUV shot past us uncontrollably, straight down the left path, toward the collapsed bridge. Tyler's voice cracked. "Holy!" We watched the SUV's taillights vanish into the blackness. Then, a second later, a massive distant crash echoed across the desert. Metal crunching, glass shattering, something collapsing. Then silence. We sat there in total shock. After almost a full minute, the clerk's voice crackled through the walkie. "Boys, you still alive?" Tyler whispered, shaking. "Why? We're okay." "Good. Get back to the gas station." Slowly. When we returned, the clerk met us outside again. "Did you see what he looked like?" he asked. "No," I said. "The windows were tinted." He nodded like he expected that answer. "The police will investigate the crash," he said, "but I doubt they'll find a driver." That confused me. "What do you mean?" He sighed deeply. "That SUV has been reported here for almost 15 years. Every description is the same. Same model, same behavior, same plate number. Plate number?" Tyler asked. The clerk nodded grimly. "Yeah, same plate. Every time?" My stomach twisted. "You're telling me?" "I'm telling you that SUV crashed off that same collapsed bridge 15 years ago. The 2 boys inside died instantly," he said quietly. "Witnesses said another vehicle ran them off the road, but no other driver was ever found." I froze. The clerk continued. "And starting a year later, people began reporting being followed by a dark SUV on that same highway, always at night, always trying to force them toward the bridge." Tyler whispered. "Why us?" "No idea." the clerk said. Maybe he targets road trippers. Maybe he's replaying his final moments. Or maybe he's looking for someone else to take with him. We didn't stay the night. We left Nebraska and didn't stop until Colorado. For the rest of the trip, we never drove after dark again. Even now, years later, when I drive alone at night, I still check my mirrors every few minutes, just to make sure nothing is following me with its headlights off. Because some things on the road aren't alive, but they still drive. If you made it this far, then maybe you're not afraid of the dark. Or maybe you've just gotten used to something watching you from it. Remember, the world outside your window is much stranger, much darker, and far more dangerous than you think. Roads that look empty aren't always empty. Voices you hear on lonely highways aren't always human, and headlights in the distance don't always belong to the living. If you want more real stories that keep you awake at night, more nightmares you can't unhear, and more horrors hidden in plain sight, make sure you subscribe to Dark Vision and turn on notifications, because some stories are only told in the dark, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.